We just spent 7 nights aboard one of the world's largest cruise ships, and it just got a multi-million-dollar makeover. And this is the good, bad, and ugly.
JJ Cruise.
Hey everyone, what's up? This is Jordan.
And I'm Jared.
And this is JJ Cruise. Thank you so much for clicking into the video today. Well, we just spent 7 nights in the Mediterranean on Royal Caribbean's Allure of the Seas, one of the largest cruise ships in the world and the newest cruise ship to get a multi-million-dollar amplification.
Today we're going to dive into the good, the bad, and the ugly, our honest cruise review of one of the world's biggest cruise ships. But before we do, we invite you to subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers and we're getting so close. So if you can hit that subscribe button, it's free to you, means the world to us. And while you're at it, hit that thumbs up.
Allure of the Seas just came out of a $150 million renovation. There are a ton of new venues on board this ship, plenty of things to do, along with some old favorites. So today we're really going to look into everything on board this massive cruise ship to give you the best cruise tips, tricks, and information that you need to know when sailing on board Allure of the Seas.
Whether this is your first Royal Caribbean cruise or your 100th Royal Caribbean cruise, we have some very vital information for you. So make sure you stay till the end so you don't miss the good, the bad, or our ugly for this cruise ship.
And I have to say, our ugly on this particular one is a little controversial, and I can already tell the comments are probably going to be popping off with certain opinions, whether you agree with us or disagree with us. Coming in right at 226,000 gross tons, this cruise ship can hold 6,800 guests. And we took this 7-night voyage round trip out of Barcelona, stopping in some of the Mediterranean islands like Palma de Mallorca and some beautiful stops in Italy, including La Spezia and Naples.
Though this ship is in the Mediterranean currently, it will be in the Caribbean later this year.
Let's jump right into the good. And we have to start by talking about our stateroom. Now, we were in a very standard ocean view balcony stateroom for this voyage. And if you've sailed on a Royal Caribbean Oasis Class ship before, this is a very normal balcony cabin. It has great storage, a really comfortable bed, a nice balcony space. But there's one thing in particular about these cabins that we love.
And that is the shower. The shower sometimes on other cruise lines and other cruise ships can be with a shower curtain and not very spacious. We love the showers on these class of ships and especially on Allure of the Seas because the shower has plenty of space. You never have to feel like you're going to get crammed in by a curtain that touches you in weird places while you're showering. And we love that about Allure of the Seas.
Moving outside of the stateroom, this is an Oasis Class ship. And we love Oasis Class ships for everything that they have to offer.
This is the original game changer cruise class, the world's largest cruise ship class until Icon of the Seas and now Star of the Seas. So there's a lot to offer when it comes to things to do around the ship, whether it's laser tag, ice skating, zip lining. You have tons of pools and hot tubs, as well as mini golf and a sports court that plays pickleball or basketball, or many other sports in between.
During the amplification, you also got water slides, which was a massive addition to Allure of the Seas. So there is definitely things to do throughout your sea day, all day long, and truly these ships are built for families that have a diverse number of interests.
Continuing on with our good is the pool deck, including the adults only Solarium. This is your hideaway from kids. If you are somebody that's coming on a family cruise line but wants to stay away from kids during the day, the best way to do so is in that Solarium, where there are hot tubs as well as a pool and a bar, so you don't have to worry about getting out throughout your day and trying to find a drink. It'll come to you, or you can stay in the Solarium to enjoy that sun and fun.
The Solarium also has a nice open deck where you can get sun. We love that this sits at the very front of the ship, so you have ocean views for days. And again, it is such a nice, relaxing escape compared to some of the more entertaining places on board the ship. One of the concepts of the Oasis Class ship is the 6 neighborhoods. The pool deck is definitely one of those neighborhoods, the sports court is another, but we love a lot of the other neighborhoods like Entertainment Place, where the ice skating rink and the comedy club is located, as well as the Boardwalk, which has gotten a full renovation. Now you have Playmakers back there, the Ultimate Abyss slide, and Johnny Rockets, which is a classic favorite. We didn't know if Johnny Rockets would make it through the renovation.
But we're glad it did. And one of the final neighborhoods is Central Park, and this has to be a highlight for our review. Central Park has had plenty of time to really grow into its own. If you don't know, Central Park has hundreds, if not thousands, of plants that are alive, living on the ship and growing every single day. Well, with Allure of the Seas being over a decade old, even through the amplification process, these plants were able to continue growing and not have to be removed at all. Thus, this makes this one of the most lush Central Parks across the entire Royal Caribbean fleet.
We love Central Park. It's one of our favorite places on the ship. And one of the things that we love it for is its live music. Every single evening, you can sit out under the stars, listen to live violinists or singers or guitarists. They have a variety of different music up there each night, and this has been one of our favorite parts of this cruise.
Speaking of music, we have to talk about the entertainment. If you're not familiar with Allure of the Seas when it came out, this ship was supposed to be the entertainment cruise ship, meaning more entertainment than ever before on any Royal Caribbean cruise ship. Well, with the amplification process came new entertainment as well. But we have to first start off with one that has been on here since the beginning, and that is Mamma Mia.
We have seen Mamma Mia a couple of times on Royal Caribbean, but I have to say on this particular cruise, it was the best version of Mamma Mia we have ever seen. They truly have some of the top talent from the Broadway stage now at sea, and Mamma Mia is just one of those shows that everybody loves.
Yes, this is the Broadway hit musical Mamma Mia. That is one of the longest running musicals in Broadway's history. And they have actors from the West End and Broadway in this show. So it really does make sense why this is a huge highlight for so many guests, and it's a hard ticket to come by. So get those tickets early when you're going in to check in for your cruise.
A brand new show that's now on Allure of the Seas is Aqua 80s 2. They actually took the Aqua show off of Utopia of the Seas, which is the newest Royal Caribbean Oasis Class ship, and brought it onto this ship, which I think is very, very smart. We loved Aqua 80s 2 when we saw it on Utopia, and we loved it just as much when we got to see it here on Allure.
If you're not familiar with what an aqua show is, just imagine a big pool, lots of people dancing and splashing in it, as well as high diving acts and other types of acrobatic acts being done over top this pool into the pool. The third type of theatrical venue is the ice skating rink. Of course, you can skate by day if it's not being prepared for the show at night, but when the show is happening, it is one not to be missed. You see Olympic quality ice skaters, some that have actually been in the Olympics, performing in front of you in blades. This is not a new show, but this is a good show and one not to miss as well.
If you want to catch all of the entertainers in one place, you can catch them in the Anchors Away Parade. Now, these parades take place in the main promenade, the Royal Promenade area of the ship, and we think this is a good thing to add to the list because it's great for families, and it's one of those things that kind of maybe competes a little bit with what Disney does on some of their ships. So if you're coming with small kids or little ones, you'll want to definitely check out the parade in the promenade.
That was all the good about the entertainment. Let's talk about food. And there was a lot of good when it came to food. We did specialty dining throughout the week, and we have to start there. First with our classic Chops Grill. Now there are a lot of thoughts on Chops Grill. The Chops Grill on this ship was fantastic. We went back for seconds. That's how good it was.
A brand new specialty dining venue on board since the amplification is the Mason Jar Southern Restaurant. Now this is just your good home style Southern country food, and we both had a great meal there. Be warned, if you go there, the portions are large and the meal is very filling. So go hungry if you're going to try the Mason Jar on Allure.
That was specialty dining. Let's talk about something that's included for all cruise passengers without an extra cost. That is the main dining room. We had really good food and really quick service, which we were impressed by because this is a huge cruise ship. When you have the world's biggest cruise ship just a few years ago, it means there's a lot of cruise passengers that are hungry all at the same time, and the efficiency that was at the main dining room was quite impressive.
One of our favorite things about the dining experience here on Allure of the Seas is the number of alfresco dining spots there are around the ship. In particular, our favorite alfresco dining spots to sit outside were in Central Park. We actually sat outside both at Chops and at Giovanni's Table, which was another great specialty restaurant we ate at, and we had perfect meals with incredible weather while listening to some of the live music in Central Park. It made the experience that much better to be able to sit outside in a calm, cool environment and enjoy food in the shade. All the alfresco dining spots are shaded, which is another thing that is very important when looking at where you're going to dine on the ship.
In terms of drinks, there are a lot of options on Allure of the Seas to make that drink package worth it. Of course, we are Diamond Plus members, so we get 5 drinks a day. And with those drinks, we spent most of them at the Mason Jar Bar. This bar is beautiful. In fact, the whole restaurant is beautiful, and this is all attached together. So the restaurant's on one side and the bar's on the other, so you don't have to be eating to go drink at the bar. Now, with the bar comes live music many nights, and this live music is some of the favorites and highlights for music for a lot of people on board. It is a really fun environment to be drinking at, whether the music is there or not. And you have the bartenders that are dressed for success, dressed in theme for this bar as well.
Another bar that's brand new is the Pesky Parrot. We were so excited to see the Pesky Parrot make its move from Utopia of the Seas now onto Allure, and the drink menu here is great. You have delicious, fun, tropical-inspired cocktails in a really fun environment, so we definitely enjoyed some of those Diamond Plus drinks in the Mason Jar, but also in the Pesky Parrot as well.
Another change for Allure of the Seas is the Crown Lounge. This is going to be for loyalty members of Diamond, Diamond Plus, and above, depending on the year and what the changes may be with Royal Caribbean and loyalty. But right now, it is for Diamond, Diamond Plus, and above. With this loyalty lounge, we are so happy that they kept some natural light. This was one of the best Crown Lounges for light and space before, and so we're glad they didn't put it in a dungeon or a dark place like they did originally with some of the Oasis Class ships.
The last thing we have to mention here on the good list is the service. The crew on this ship did such a phenomenal job. Across the board, every crew member that we encountered provided exceptional service from top down, and we would sail with this crew again and again.
That was the good. Let's talk about the bad. And remember, at the end, we're going to get into our ugly, which is something that I already say is probably going to be very controversial. We apologize in advance.
As you know, when it comes to our bad list, these are things that you have to know. So they're good reminders if you're traveling on Allure of the Seas, and things that I think are very important if you have an Allure of the Seas trip coming up. Let's start off with the stateroom. One of the very bizarre things in the stateroom is the TV placement. The bed is located right across from Piece of Art, and the TV, which is very small and did not get changed out during the amplification, is across the room. This is a strange placement for a TV in a cruise cabin in general, and I can't think of another ship I've been on where the room was set up quite like this.
Yeah, the swivel doesn't really swivel enough to make it convenient to watch from bed. Another thing that we found with the staterooms are, unfortunately, what connects us to the outside world, which is the cabin doors. At least within our hallway, we found that the doors slam quite easily. In fact, all the doors slam quite easily, making it pretty easy to have slamming door noise throughout your day and night. Of course, we weren't that bothered by it to where we couldn't sleep, but it is something for someone that is a very light sleeper or someone that has maybe a baby would maybe not want to have, because it will definitely wake a sleeping child.
Moving outside of the stateroom, we have to talk about smoking in the casino. Now, we know that this is one of those topics that people have opinions on, one side or the other. But this casino in particular is extremely smoky, and the smoke seeps out into the elevator bank and even out to the entrance of the dining room. The smoke smell is strong, and when you walk through there, your clothes end up smelling like smoke. The good news is there is now a non-smoking casino.
Yeah, this is a big miss for Royal Caribbean because on some of the newer ships, they have sliding doors to separate the casino from the rest of the public area to ensure that the smoke doesn't get out of where it's supposed to be. We really thought that would happen on the amplification with all these renovations. Maybe it's something Royal Caribbean still can do in future dry docks to come. When it comes to food, there's not a lot of bad to talk about here, but there are some unique things that we need to discuss when cruising in the Mediterranean specifically. First, if there is not a source for one of the ingredients or for one of the menu items, sometimes they're either not available or they're substituted with something that is either a good substitution or a fair substitution or not so good of a substitution. As an example, in Mason Jar, this is obviously an American dining facility. One of the easy substitutions was instead of fried green tomatoes, they had fried red tomatoes. A little bit different, but at least it's still a tomato. Whereas it came to the pecan pie, they no longer have pecan pie, they have hazelnut pie. I think that's completely different, and I had no wants or needs for hazelnut in my pie. But these are things that we saw throughout. Giovanni's didn't have burrata, so they had buffalo mozzarella, and so on and so forth. So you are going to see this across all dining facilities if cruising in the Med.
But we have cruised the Mediterranean with the premium cruise lines like Celebrity and Princess, and we didn't see this to be true at all. Anything that we could get in the Caribbean, we got on those ships, regardless of where we were around the world.
This next point is a bad if you don't do the right thing. And many Royal cruisers that are loyal to Royal know this, but we know a lot of people watch our channel that are brand new to Royal Caribbean, so we have to mention it. If there is any type of bad weather, your shows may be canceled. And that is for the Aqua show as well as the Ice show, rarely for the main production theater shows. But what we recommend to do instead is to book these shows as early as possible within your cruise. We did this for this cruise and we are so glad we did. We had multiple storms during this cruise that ended up canceling our first Aqua show of Aqua 80s 2. And then it delayed our second rebooked show later in the cruise. Luckily, we were still able to see it that third time. What does this mean? The earlier you book, the more likely you are able to rebook. And they automatically rebook you if your show is canceled, so it's no pain for you. But if you're on the final day and it gets canceled, of course, you can't see it later in your cruise because you're going to be on your way home.
We put the Crown Lounge on the good list, but we also have to put it on the bad list because it is a little bit of a good and a bad. The new location is interesting up off the sports court, but it is a negative when it comes to the amount of people that walk past that area. The glass doors you can see right into, and when we sat up there and worked for a few hours the other day, the amount of people trying to get in and trying to figure out what this venue was kind of mind-boggling. I have never seen the server that was inside the Crown Lounge, have to open up the door over and over and over again and tell people what the venue was and that they weren't allowed to come in. I think this turned a lot of people off because they felt like it was an exclusive club, which it kind of is, but it also made people feel left out, which is never a good feeling for when you are traveling on your vacation and wanting to explore the ship. Now it's time for our controversial, ugly opinion. And I know we've both said that we think it's going to be controversial.
I mean, it's honestly just annoying. It's one of those things that I can say it and I know people are going to be mad at me, but this is not something that should be happening. The Pesky Parrot was like a McDonald's play place. Literally, I tell you, I kid you not, with the animatronic parrot of, I think his name's Brad, with him going off with his sayings, these kids were everywhere. They were climbing on boxes. They were trying to touch the parrot, and the parents were nowhere to be found.
We didn't notice this on Utopia of the Seas, but there weren't as many kids on that sailing when we were on that ship. And the parrot wasn't actually up and functional on Utopia of the Seas for its very first sailing. It's interesting to me that Royal Caribbean places this parrot kind of half in the bar and half out of the bar in the Royal Promenade. And the parrot is loud, so it definitely attracts a lot of people into the space, but it attracts so many kids. And we know this is a family-friendly cruise line, and we know that there are kids on board. We've cruised Royal Caribbean over 50 times, so we're totally used to it and we are very, very okay with kids. But this was just one of those moments that we kind of took our drinks and thought, what is going on here?
So, would we cruise on Allure of the Seas again? Overall, after all of our good, our bad, and our ugly, I think the answer is
Absolutely, we
yes.
would.
That is one of our favorite ships is the Oasis Class ships, and Allure of the Seas with the amplifications is just better than it was before.
Overall, the amplifications add a lot more value, a lot more fun, and a lot more to do on board. So we think if you have this ship booked, you are in for a great vacation.
And if you don't have it booked, you can book with us at jjcruise.com. We are happy to book you. We are both travel agents, and it is just us two that you are working with. And if you book far enough out, there is a chance that we can help you on your rate and reservation with maybe even a refundable deposit as well.
So let us know what you think in the comments below. Is this a ship that you're going on soon? Is it one that you want to go on? Please give us your opinion. You can say whatever you want. Our comments are open for you to share. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name is Jordan.
And I'm Jared.
Until next time,
See
see
ya.
ya.